Okay, so base design, base design. So this base is left over from Town Hall Level 4, and seeing as we are now 5, hip hip hooray, time to redesign. So I know a couple of you have commented that you're eagerly awaiting this part, and so am I actually, because we've been sort of eating lots of damage because I haven't been caring enough to redesign it off video, and I didn't really want to design it off video. I wanted you guys to sort of see this. So first thing we're going to do is explode the base. I'm going to do several bases, once again. I think I'm going to spread them out, though, instead of doing one video. Town Hall level 5 means we've got a ton of options for what to do. And by options, I mean there's a lot of good bases. I mean, and there's not any single correct base. In any situation, there's no single correct base. But in this one, there's way more valid bases. I think last time I showed about 4 or 5 bases I would consider good bases for Town Hall level 4. Well, there's probably at least like 10 overarching different types of bases that are very different from one another that are all considered equally good or equally valid to use as a Town Hall level 5. So I'm going to go through a decent number of them. Today I'm going to do something sort of unusual. You see a couple of them out there when you're raiding, but not very many of them. And what is that? It's a spiral base. So spiral bases are sort of exciting because, I mean, it gets into some, you get to play with sort of unit AI and trying to predict where guys are going to go. And spiral just sort of encourages them to go in one direction. It's also a pretty good base for setting spring traps, and I'm a fan of spring traps. I'm not really a fan of spiral bases overall because they're pretty easy to sort of destroy the order in them if you use if you're worried about like how your guys are going to go through them. You can use wall breakers to sort of reroute them pretty easily. So I'm not a fan of how easily they can be sort of abused, I'll call it. Okay. I'm just going to leave the walls here until they need to move. We're going to start... Which way should the spiral go? I think it's going to go this way. I'll probably rearrange the walls later and probably also off video. Should we have that there? Yeah, let's have that there. Yeah, so I'll rearrange the walls later so that the high level ones are where I want them to be. But for now, I'll just put them wherever that creates that border. So spiral base is going to put our splash damage in the middle. Well, I mean, pretty much all bases are going to put your splash damage in the middle, just because it's a good idea. So mortar's going to be the biggest, most important splash damage because of its bigger range. Wizard Tower's going to be next because it's also splash. It is higher DPS, and I mean, if you look at it, it's like double the damage per second. Oh, there's a wall there. That's my problem. Wizard Tower level 1 is 11 damage per second. This one's going to be 6 damage per second. But the bigger range on the mortar matters more in this situation. It can cover more of the base, so have it more centralized. Okay, so we're going to put this in here, and I'm going to need one more in here. Okay, so we're going to keep building this outer wall out. This wall just on the top right side of the Wizard Tower and border is going to become our outer wall. And by outer wall, I mean part of the spiral that I mentioned that gives this base its name. We're going to need room for 3 out here. I'll put my first gold storage right here. Well, actually my only gold storage, as I haven't yet started my next one. And it did finish upgrading, so I believe it's 9 now, so we've got a full 500,000 capacity. Yes, 9. When you're Town Hall level 5, I mean, spiral bases can be for larger, higher level Town Halls as well, so you can consider doing this for a higher one. But for this, it's going to be a pretty small spiral. I'm going to alternate resources and defenses. I think I'm going to start with... I'll put the air defense here for now. I might swap this up later. I like it to be centralized and protected. Although, it's probably more important to have it centralized and protected at higher levels than lower levels. Why is that? I probably should talk about that. That's based on sort of the common army uses at different levels. At higher levels, you're more likely to run into mass balloon armies, and at even higher levels than that, you're going to run into dragons and healers. For which dragons and healers, you really want your thing to be centered. For balloons, the balloons are decent, but you're never going to be able to attack a base with a protected, even semi-protected air defense. So you can sort of get away with only sort of protecting it. But by the time you get to high levels, absolutely have a higher one. I would probably put, if I had 4 storages, 2 gold and 2 elixir, I'd probably put another one right here, but I don't. So I'm going to put another defense. Let's do an archer tower this time. And I mean, there's no like set spiral that I'm following. This is a lot less uniform than some of those other bases I was creating for 4. So I'm trying to decide if I want to put a 3x3 right here or a 3x3 right here and make it sort of a tight corner. I don't really know. I guess I'll go out first. Do I want even to use the elixir yet? I don't think so. Actually, one thing I'm not even thinking about is how I want to use my spring traps, which is probably going to be used later primarily, but that's very important. I thought about not recording this video with commentary over the top of it, so you wouldn't see me drag around walls. Let me know what you think. If this is just boring, well, obviously you can skip it for one, but if it's boring for you, I won't do it again. And for next time, I'll just do what I did in previous videos, or just cut it out. But I do like to explain my logic, and I think there's some value to get out of it. So this is going to be my first spring trap, so I'll go buy it now, because I don't have any laying around. I also do have walls, and I haven't forgotten that, I just don't need them yet. So what does this do? This means that units that attack this, or attack whatever defense is going to be over here, to get between them, there's an easy way, and it's right over the spring trap. So this is primarily a giant trap, and that's what you want to use your spring traps for. To use them on anything else is pretty much a waste, because they probably won't kill very many guys. But that's a giant trap right there. We just did a cannon. Gonna do another archer tower. Yeah, sure. Why? What the hell? I'll put the elixir down here, just so it's nice and far away from the gold. Let's do another cannon. It's one around here somewhere. So there's 2 more I haven't used, I know. Although I might actually swap this up. Cannons are much better for the middle sections of walls, and archer towers are better for the corners. Why is that? Archer towers have better range, and range is important for protecting the buildings outside. So, for example, this guy, right, well, I can't place it here because of this stupid trunk, but if I was able to place this where it's currently sitting, this cannon cannot protect it, the one that's right here that I'm selecting. But an archer tower there could, so that's a pretty important difference. Okay, I think this is sort of coming together in my mind. Sort of far away on paper still. Well, paper. Digitally. It's not quite looking like it yet, but... I'm sort of seeing it myself, how it's going to look. That's going to be our second spring trap. Second of 2. And then we're going to put our last defenses, and I still got more walls to use. Is the archer tower it? Very well might be. Also the clan castle, which I'm going to put somewhere. And I might swap that with the... Might swap it with this air defense. Yeah, I'm going to swap the air defense out. And in future videos, we shall see if I pay for that decision. So, currently in here is nothing, but I'm going to request, I'm going to go in here and just say, hey everyone. I'll just let them know what I'm looking for, because I really would prefer to have those units. I do not like giants. Giants are poor, for especially low levels. Well, actually, all levels, honestly. Because giants take up 5 supply, and each one is worse damage-wise than a barbarian. A single barbarian versus one giant. And you can fit 5 barbarians in the same amount of room. So that's why I don't like giants, which a lot of people sort of by default think are like the best. But that's why they're not. Okay, nearly done with these existing walls. Thank you, Gibbets. And what I'm going to do with the last walls is discourage people from attacking on this side. How am I going to do that? Well, it's sort of tricky, but I'm going to show you how to. I might move some of these walls down here by the air defense later, if I find a better spot for them. Well, first off, this rock's going to need to go. 20,000 gold, gone. Next, I'm going to use these walls as what I call buffer walls. Actually, not buffer walls, funnel walls. Buffer walls are something different. I sort of create the names for a lot of these things, and then people use them, because I write guides and I use the words in them. Or I make these videos, and you guys start using them to refer to the same things. So the spiral base, yeah, I think I created that terminology, but although spiral looks pretty obvious. I like creating things like that. It's always funny when I hear people referring to them as buttress walls and other things that I've created. Or termed myself. So these walls, those wooden walls that I've yet to build, are going to go out here. What is the purpose of that? Well, that's going to really discourage people using wall breakers. They're also going to go out here. It's going to discourage people from using wall breakers to break into what I consider my more important buildings, and those are these. Oh, and we got a gem from the stone. So, although I think I might actually put them over here more, because I only got 25. Yeah, okay, we're going to start over here. So, funneling walls. What do funneling walls do? Let me get these spaced right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Funneling walls force enemies who spawn outside of them to walk around them, and then hopefully they take lots of splash damage. The other thing they do is discourage wall breakers from going through them, because the wall breakers are just going to attack the walls. I think I'm going to take rid of this tree as well, and leave a gap here. Why a gap there? Because, well, actually I'm going to leave one right there. So this is a little tricky. So you see this wizard tower range? You can see how he's in range of this gap in the wall right here? Well, that means if barbarians or goblins, those two especially, get deployed out here, come in to attack this, they will get hit by the wizard tower, which is exactly what I want them to do. Then at the same time, I will space this so slightly farther away. This is very subtle right here. Okay, so if I space this like this, so say a unit walks into this gap, and they're attacking this right here, this gold mine I currently selected. What did they attack next is the question. To destroy the gold mine, what next? Well, this is closest, and this is second closest. If this was right here, they would be equally distant. If they were on this side, they might, like this edge of the gold mine, this is definitely going to be closer, but I'm not going to take the risk. So I'm going to put it over there and leave the hole right there. Now let's put down some more. I really wish you could pick up walls and replace them down, because putting them down in a row like this is just so much easier than normal. I'm going to run out sometime soon. And I put it there. I'm counting spots. I think one more. Oh, that was it anyways. Okay, so now I'm going to fill this in with buildings. I'm going to put my elixir in gold, where it's most protected, which is behind these buffer walls. And I also have a couple walls down here, but I'm going to use them for something different, I've decided. I'm going to use them as buttress walls. And more specifically, they're going to prevent giants from, and wall breakers especially, from taking out this corner wall in here and coming straight in for the mortar. Although I expect a lot of people will try it anyways, so we'll probably see in future videos attacks that attempt to do that, so look for that in the future. Given how this is spaced, I would like this to be slightly more efficient, and by efficient I just mean closer to the walls, so I'm going to move these all down by one. Doesn't really matter. Okay, that's that. In terms of wall efficiency, this base is pretty good. It could be better, but could be a lot worse as well. For example, this corner piece right here, this is where it comes in, it could come out to right here using the same amount of walls, but that would be not protected. So someone could deploy like a single barbarian out here, and it would just get free damage. Oh, I forgot this cannon. I'm tempted to put it here, but that would be a very bad idea. Why would that be a bad idea? Well, giants would come in and attack this. They'd come in from either up here or up here, and once they got through here, some of them might come down to here, and then go through the spiral, which goes through here if you don't see it. But some of them also might break through this wall, which I really don't want them to do. So I'm definitely not going to put it there. Could put it right here. Put it between that. Yeah, that's a good place for now. Oh boy, this video is going long. Well, I'm going to take a break here and take advantage of our now complete army. And I'm going to queue up guys, but this time I'm going to be slightly smarter and deploy. Oh, did I recruit barbarians? I totally screwed that up. Yeah, I didn't. How do we get 10 giants? Okay, I'm confusing myself. I thought I only queued 7. Oh, did I not deploy 3 last time? I'm confusing myself. 10? Let me do 15 in each. It won't build all these most likely, and if it does, then we'll just use them for raiding. I don't really mind having a different army each time, but also certainly a learning experience. Practicing with different armies definitely lets you grow in different ways. You get to use different things and then adapt to them. Also try looking at what enemies do to you, which works, and then try flipping it back on people you're attacking. So far these first two haven't had enough gold. This one certainly doesn't. We're still looking for gold, by the way, to upgrade some of those new wooden walls and possibly some of those rough stone walls as well. You don't need to upgrade those buffer walls quite as much. I'm going to go check later how many wall breakers it takes to get through certain different number of walls to see if it's worth it to upgrade to smooth stone. I know level 1 can't go through rough stone in 1. So I might just leave it at smooth stone, but I might not even go that far, just given the money I have. High level base, I'm going to look at it for the possibility of raiding. Actually, okay, so this elixir over here tells me they've got a moderate amount of gold. I would guess, let's see what level they are. Okay, I'm going to be raiding this guy. First off, this is a terrible base. Why? Everything is super spread out, and beyond that, it's got all these spawn points all over the place. So if I actually had a better army and could attack this for real, well, actually, his town hall's right there. Maybe I'll just pick it off with an archer or two anyways. I'm about to deploy a lot of guys to get rid of these cannons, because they're just going to one-hit everything I have. Okay, first things first. Oh, well, damn it, I'm running out of edge. They in the last patch, the winter patch, they moved the sides of the map in. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pick that off. Too bad. I want to deploy guys out here, but you can't deploy them that far out. Well, it just decided to put a guy way in there. Note to self, don't do that again. Okay, first I'm going to do 3 of these. Then I'm going to do all of these. I'm going to do most of these. Save 1 for down here. Good. Should I pick that off? Can I pick that off? No, I can't. So as I was saying, not all of the gold is going to be available, but some of it is. And hopefully that turns out to be enough. We already got about 20,000. See, this archer is taking about 100 each time, so that's worth it. Hard decision. Okay, one more giant. I wish these 5 archers were all attacking this right here, because once this giant dies, they're going to die. Well, now more of them should be. Oh, so don't attack that. Attack the gold mine. Well, we should get all of it. This is a level 10 gold. It used to be the maximum, except now they're still at 11. I need to decide if I want to deploy 5 to destroy it. Well, it's not going to destroy it without deploying another giant, so I'm going to do that. I decided it is worth it, because it's going to be more than 10,000 gold if I do manage to destroy it, except it died really fast because there's both an archer tower and cannon shooting at it. It's really weird, actually. These archer towers, I have one that's that level. These cannons, that's level like 7 or something. That means this is level 5 and this is level 7. Maybe this is brand new. Maybe that's it. Yeah, that's probably it, actually. That makes more sense. Okay, as is, we got 35,000 gold. 39,000, not bad. We deployed a bit more of an army than I was hoping to do, but yeah, it did also even out our giant count, so we're doing better on that now. Just deploy 1 in each. Take off a couple. Have to take off 1 more. Hopefully I'm in time. Totally. Oh, make it. Yes. Oh, that was close. Okay, so that's 80 out of 80, as you can see right there. 2 minutes I won't be able to raid or attack again. Okay, moving forward. Okay, yes, I'm going to swap these, as I mentioned I was considering doing, just because they're going to be better able to protect the things that are outside of them. I want to put this here, not enough room. Because I've got the free workers, I'll just get rid of it. Normally I'd work around them a bit more. I definitely don't support just removing all of them at the start. A lot of people seem to do that. I'm not really sure why. I mean, it certainly simplifies building your base, but I don't consider that really a good enough reason on its own. Cannon level 6. I'm going to put this in a slightly better position over here. Don't zoom, drag. There we go. And then I'm going to swap this over. So why did I do that? This position this 6 is in is going to be better protected. Actually, this one need to be even better over here. Yeah, I'm going to swap it again. Basically means it's going to die slower, or less often, which means it's going to get more shots in. And when you're doing 31 versus 25, that's an extra 6 per second, which is not an insignificant amount if it's shooting for 30 seconds in a match. That's going to be, let's see if I can do math in my head, 180 damage. So that's going to be doing 180 damage if it's shooting for 30 seconds, I said? Yeah. More than the other one, that is. Okay. I'd like to spread out my gold mines and army and barracks. Gold mines and army camps. Move this as well. Just so you can't goblin raid like you see me doing to other people. I don't like that done to myself. It's actually another possible option if we get 250,000 gold. At some point I'll be doing that for sure. Upgrading the 2 army camps that we have. Definitely an important thing. Oh, we got 3 gems. When we upgrade again, do we get... Do we have another army camp actually right now? Did I screw that up? Oh, I screwed that up. Okay, that's pretty bad of me, actually. I didn't realize we unlocked a new army camp. Talking about the upgrading the army camps made me think of it. So, Yeah, that's pretty bad. You want to build a new army camp as soon as possible because, I mean, it's a whole lot of new army that you can build. That is certainly a very good thing. I'm just going to queue up the army in anticipation. I do know I have another barracks, but no need to use that just now. I'm going to put a couple random buildings around this archer tower, this air defense. Probably the army camps. Yeah, I'll take that out as well, because it's going to distract guys that come for it. I don't want you to be able to send in barbarians too easily and start them down the funnel. I want the giants to come in first, take much of fire, die, and then everything can focus on the infantry, while the infantry is not attacking the defenses. To that extent, I'm going to destroy this tree, put barracks in there, right here. I'll put the other barracks somewhere around the side to protect this archer tower. This other tree has to go. It's funny, when, like, oops, everything's busy. That's right, because I started this guy. I used to be a lot more sensitive about how I place stuff around the natural defenses, but I sort of grown jaded. Let's put this in here. I guess I'll move this down as well. Oh, here's another good one. Because it's naturally formed a single spot, that is a great spot for a bomb. So, bombs, I've mentioned a long time ago in Season 1. I'm not a fan of bombs. Bombs are pretty terrible. I'll put another one here. Why is that? Because if you look at their cost, they only do 11 damage to a unit. And for a cost of 400, that's pretty bad results. Whereas a spring trap can take out up to 4 giants. I consider that very worth 2,000. Because taking out 4 giants can completely change the course of a battle. But those, yeah, I do not like, I'm not a big fan of those bombs. I think I'll also take out this trunk, put an army camp right here. I'm not going to put this last one out here. It would be unprotected, pretty much. Maybe the mortar. Nope, not even the mortar. The archer tower would be able to hit melee guys hitting it, but nothing else. Oh god, this video is past 40 minutes. My longest one yet. Hooray. Not really. Yeah, I think this is going to be too long for you guys, but let me know what you think. Actually, I might actually have to split this up into multiple parts. You'll probably figure out if it is, just because I have slow internet at the moment. So it is hard to upload to YouTube. Things like if the browser crashes, it gets interrupted and I have to start over again. Okay, so nearly done with this spiral base. Let's review. So the spring traps are a very important part of it. Having these splash buildings protected, and they don't really seem that protected compared to everything else. But they really are, just because this wall out here is really going to prevent giants from getting in super easily. I guess a giant placed here. I'm not really sure, honestly, whether it would go for this or come in for here. It's a hard point. If you put them over here, they're definitely going to go for this side. Which sort of, if you do place them here, this makes this a valid spring trap site, but it makes it way too obvious. So I would like to put one there, but I wouldn't. But I won't. What I'm trying to say. Okay, and let me check to make sure we've used all of our buildings. Ooh, one worker's hut. I'm sure I can find somewhere. Probably right here is the best spot for it. Just delay units while they're in range of all these defenses inside. So as you can tell, there's no sort of strict internal versus external base in this base design, but we do have all of our important buildings all centralized in here. This is the spiral going towards the end, so this is the outer part, and this is going in, spring trap, in, spring trap, in. So the part that's the weakest part about this base is if they happen to not follow the spiral. So if they come in through up here, use wall breakers or something to blow up this wall, come into here, that's going to be a weak. If they deploy giants up here and they end up choosing to target these walls in here, that's going to be weakness. That'll have to change. Beyond that, hard to say. I'll probably put fairly heavy black walls right out here, just because I expect lots of wall breaker attacks to come in on there. I will also put I'll put black walls in here just in case the giants come for here, just to slow them down a teeny bit more. I'm curious what people will try to do against this. Maybe we'll have some balloon attacks attempted. This air defense is fairly vulnerable, as mentioned, but sort of a trade-off.